Well, hello there, good evening, and welcome. This is Strong and Sassy, and this is your Super Station Joy 99.7 FM. My name is Animwaa Anim-Addo, and tonight we're continuing our conversation on weight loss. It's one that we started last week. And we thought we should continue because there were lots of aspects of it that we were not able to cover last week. So tonight we're going to do a recap of what we talked about last week in case you missed it. But I think we also kind of want to get down to specifics. So a lot of you were asking about the kinds of foods you should eat, what you should avoid, and the kind of plans you should get into if you're trying to lose weight. And of course, that dreaded word, exercise. We're going to be talking about exercise as well, and how you can kind of just add it to your lifestyle so that it's doable. So that's the conversation tonight. I would also love to hear from you if you've lost weight and put it back on. I think it's called yo-yo dieting. Those who lose weight, put it back on, lose weight, put it back on. So I'd love to hear from you if that's your story. I can imagine how difficult it must be to have lost weight and then to put it back on and then have to kind of conquer that journey again. So if that's your story, I'd love to hear from you tonight. The WhatsApp lines are open 055 1111997. And of course, we're live on Facebook. So if you prefer the visuals, then definitely head on there. But tonight, joining me again, registered dietitian Benedicta Keswa-Addo and fitness coach and manager of Bloom Sip Fresh Juice, Winifred Mensah. Benedicta and Winifred, welcome.
Thank you.
So you guys were here last week.
Yes.
I think we had a very interesting conversation. So we'll just continue. But before we do that, though, Winifred, let me start with you. Can you kind of just take us through the major talking points from last week, if some of our listeners missed it? You brought out a lot of different things that were interesting: the body types, those who struggle to lose weight, exercise, all those things. You could do a quick recap for us.
Yeah, so last week there was this story about a woman that was able to lose a large amount of, is it large? But then a lot of weight in just 3 months. And then I put in there that one of the factors could be because she is an ectomorph. Yeah, and then with those ones, they are able to lose weight. They find it difficult gaining weight. And they're able to lose weight quickly. So knowing your body type, eating right, having enough rest period for your body to metabolize and then use the fat stores and all of that help with weight loss. And also I mentioned that having a fitness coach that will help you craft a plan and then follow you through to the end is also one of the good things to do if you want to lose weight and do it right.
Okay, but there were 3 types of body types.
Yes. Yeah. So, last week I mentioned that we have the ectomorph, the mesomorph, and the endomorph. So the ectomorphs are the ones that are skinny. They appear skinny. They find it difficult gaining weight.
I have one word for that: abeku. Yeah.
Yeah. So those are the ones that keep eating and eating, and then you don't see them gaining weight on the outside. The mesomorphs are those that are in between. They usually come out with this Coca-Cola body shape. Yeah, they seem to have the good body form because their fat stores are, for a female, it's usually in the breast region and then the hips and then the butt. Yeah, they hardly have fat storing up, gathering in the belly. Yeah, but then
those are the
mesomorphs. They have the Coca-Cola usually. Yeah, they have the good body forms because they are in between.
Okay.
Yes. And then the endomorphs are the big ones. They come out naturally plump like that, and then they find it difficult losing weight most of the time.
Okay, so that's just a recap of, I think that's one of the things that we enjoyed about last week, the learning about the different body types and then kind of trying to understand why some people lose weight easy and why some people don't. So we talked about food.
Yes, we did.
So quick recap again before we move forward.
Okay, so last week we were talking about how people eat and then eat in excess, and they end up building or gaining weight because they're eating more than their body needs. And also the fact that meal timing is very, very important in all these things that we're doing, trying to lose weight. And we also spoke about healthy weight loss, the fact that losing too much weight within a very short period can be very, very unhealthy.
Okay, so basically that was it. One of our listeners last week sent me a story after the show.
Okay.
And there was an article actually about a lady who lost 207 pounds. That's about 95, give or take, kilos at 64 by reverse dieting. Okay, so it says, the article says that researchers and dieters alike have wondered if eating more can help break through a weight loss plateau that was caused by eating less. What did they discover? It turns out that rigid dieting pushes the body into a rut. The body's number one goal is to be efficient, so it learns to adjust to every scenario thrown at it. And it further goes on to say there are things like carb cycling. Wow. And just really a lot of technicalities. And we know that there's so many, what are they called? They're called fads. Yes, when it comes to that are on the market. Why again is it so complicated as opposed to calories in, calories burned? What's all this? I mean, there's this reverse dieting, there's intermittent fasting, there's the keto diets, the Atkins diet, so many different things.
Okay, so not all the diets mentioned are necessarily fads.
Okay.
But then what is a fad diet? So a fad diet is a diet that is promising you a lot of benefits that is not going to give you in real life. Okay. So a diet that is telling you that you can lose 20 kilos in 5 days. Clearly that's a fad. Or a diet that's telling you that, do this and do that, and your liver is going to bounce like a 2-year-old's liver. All those things, like they are giving you promises that are not realistic, then it's a fad. Okay, and then there are a number of them. So if you look at what you're doing, you can tell whether it's a fad or not. Example, there's the egg diet. It fits into the fad. There's a cabbage. So they just eat eggs, like maybe 6 eggs for the whole day. And then they can go and it's on and on and on.
Okay.
Until you can't take it any longer, because no one can eat eggs for the rest of their lives. Yeah. So that's one thing about fad. It's not sustainable. So that's where the gaining all the weight back comes in. So you do it, you lose. You are craving your normal meals, you go back, and then now you gain so much weight. So there's the cabbage diet. There's there's one where they just do soups like that. Then there's the keto, which people beat me up for. But ideally, keto diet is a diet we use in the hospital setting for certain conditions, like when someone has epilepsy, and then we want to, slow down how the brain's overreacting and all that. Then we do keto diet. So it's not for weight loss ideally, but then people have found that, okay, when they do it in a certain way, they lose weight. But mostly, when you even look at what they are calling keto, it is not authentic keto.
Okay.
It's like dilute keto. They have cheat days, they eat all those things, but most of these things can be fat for you because you can't sustain it. And then what are the side effects you're even getting after going on all these diets? Great. Yeah.
Okay, there was a diet a few years ago, the whole foods diet.
Can you tell me about that?
Oh, you don't know about it? Okay, so it was removing things like a Maggi cube, soy sauce, the additives.
Okay.
So it was really about keeping things whole. Okay. So if, for example, you're eating meat, then you would spice it with a little bit of salt, but maybe a lot more herbs
and natural spices.
Things.
Okay.
And so remove the flavors that additional spices would bring. And then I think it was also cutting down on processed meats. So no ham or bacon or anything that had to go through a process. Too much of a process. So you can have, like, I guess you could have milk, fresh milk, but not tinned milk, not too much cheese, not butter.
It's interesting, and I like the name, the whole foods.
Yeah, my best friend did it. And she lost a lot of weight.
Wait.
But then she also went for her medical checkup, and she was healthier. She had less inflammation and all of that. So the question I'm asking from that is that the additives that we use and the processed meats and stuff, how much of a role does that play? Like, for example, right now, sausage is a thing. You know what I mean? It's with eggs, it's with Indomie, it's with everything
that we eat.
People buy fufu and soup and then they put sausage in it.
Wow,
like,
that would
I
be
mean,
nice.
you know what I mean? Like, we're consuming a lot
of it.
So what role do the processed meats and things that are not wholesome, what role do they play in gaining weight or in losing weight?
Okay, so starting from the whole food diet, I think it fits into what we call the DASH diet. The DASH diet is simply dietary approaches to stop hypertension. So it aims at cutting back on processed foods, cutting back on things that have a lot of sodium. So that's when the salt and the artificial spices come in, and then processed foods as well. Because any food that is tinned or canned, especially the meat options, has a high sodium content for preservation purposes. Some of them are low sodium.
So somebody say so that's Kobe and Kako.
Yes, they are
They
high
also
sodium.
say it again. My family members like Kobe and Kasasa. I just don't understand.
It's nice.
Wow, okay,
Yes,
so do you, obviously.
I love it. So yes, all these things like increase the sodium content of the meals that we are having. So if you're going on a diet that is literally cutting back on excess sodium, I think is good. But then, like you said, there may be other things in the whole food diet that we have to look at before we say it's a good thing or not. But when it comes to processed foods and weight gain, most processed foods have high fat content. So you're talking about things that are fried things. If you are eating something like corned beef, after you take your beef out, you can tell the amount of solid fats under all that. Aside adding to your fat level, animal fat is high in what we call saturated fats. That's going to make your cholesterol levels, go all over the place and all that. So somebody going off these processed meats clearly is going to have a better profile when they repeat their labs, etc. And then the excess fats that you are getting rid of by avoiding the processed foods also going to help. I'm sure the person was also avoiding fast foods.
Yes.
Yes, so clearly. And when you eat the whole foods, let me borrow your words, because they are whole, like you've not polished them. If it's grains, you have everything, the fiber and everything. I'm sure that diet is going to have a lot of fruits and vegetables. So then there's early satiety. You don't eat so much. The little you eat, you are full. So that person is low-key cutting back on excess calories in them.
Yeah. I mean, sticking with this, carbs have such a bad rep when it comes to weight gain. But all our favorite foods are carbs. I mean, the breads,
the benkun, the kinky.
Wow. They're all carbs. Like, so what do we do? Because I think, is it impossible to cut out carbs? Like, what would life be without carbs?
Yes. So I don't think you should cut out carbs. When we look at healthy eating, you should have a portion of everything. Balance is key. So you are looking at your carbohydrates, your proteins, fats and oils, then your minerals.
Let's say I want to eat kinky and fish today. What should my plate look like?
Great. So it depends on who is eating the kinky and fish again. So portion size is very important. For instance, the fact that kinky starts from 4 cedis doesn't mean your body needs all the 4 cedi ball of kinky. So if you are working on a weight loss regimen and you think the ball before you is very big, then you have to start working on portion control. How do you achieve that? Increase the vegetable bulk of your meal.
So kinky and fish too. I come to
cut
add
some
vegetables.
onions, tomatoes, bell peppers. You love it. You toss it a bit.
Wait.
On some fire.
Kinky and fish is so simple and straightforward. And I have to add vegetables.
If I was a kinky seller, I'll start selling veggies because people need it. And then when you start selling vegetables, they'll buy. Free business ideas. Yes. So kinky with nicely chopped onions, tomatoes. You should try it. Wash it with a little bit of salt. Oh, smile, Kaka.
And then there's the pepper and the fish.
The fish, yes.
And then the avocado.
Okay, yes, avocado is healthy, so you can add avocado, but not the way we eat avocado.
How do we eat
like
avocado?
You go and then the woman tells you that wait, this one is not ripe, so add this one. Then you come and chop all the two and eat everything. Avocado is a fruit that is mainly made of fat, so eating too much of it means weight gain. Okay, so just a little bit for the health benefits. But
I
not,
thought over the years they've said that good fat is used to fight bad fat, and avocado is good fat. So why can't we eat a lot of it?
so
with
you
the clean
see,
cake?
in the body there are different systems. Good fats is good for fighting bad fats in your circulatory system, where your blood and your heart and everything is. But when you eat too much of the good fat, the calories is now going to turn into weight. So moderation is key in
That's
everything.
a very good point. You're very, very good.
Thank you.
I'm really enjoying your the fact that you're really like up to date on the research and,
Thank you
stuff
very
like that.
much.
Yeah, we're very, very honored to have you here
I'm
this
honored to
evening.
be here.
So now it's like it's an exam now. I'm coming to you. So you do juice as well.
Yeah.
And we've been told that juice, the bad things about juice is that you're drinking your calories. So you can drink plenty. No, I'm saying it's easy to go through a box of
that's
juice.
true.
Very, very easy. And also the sugar content. So for those people who like juice, how do they add it to their diets in such a way that it's not a bad thing, or you're not drinking all your calories?
Yeah, so that's why your dietitian is going to plan your meal for you. So your dietitian may say you can have a glass of juice, of pineapple juice a day, because she knows how
Like
much
the
calories.
whole day.
Yes.
Wow.
Depending on how much calories of that you need in your meal. Yeah.
What are the best juices?
Wholesome juices.
Like
So fruit juices. Okay, so the best juices, fruits and vegetable mixed juices.
fruits and
Vegetable,
vegetables.
yeah,
with orange and sweet pepper.
orange and carrot is a perfect combination.
Okay.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, orange and carrot is a perfect combination. So we have having 80% of the vegetables in your juice with 20% fruit to sweeten it up is a good combination.
It's actually very tasty, and for people who like to drink a lot.
80% of vegetables in the fruit juice.
Yeah.
So like
So then it's no longer called a fruit juice, right?
Exactly. So what? Okay, apart from
So you
orange and carrots, what are some of the other combinations? Which other vegetable is nice to drink?
Cucumber with pineapple, ginger.
Okay, and mint.
Perfect.
That's okay.
Yes. So there's spinach, kale. Yeah, you can add some.
Like consomme. No, I mean, is it spinach is fancy consomme, please. Basically, is it not? Like, is it not?
Can you do
though?
spinach in Edinburgh?
Yes. So I lived in London for a while. We don't always get consomme.
Okay.
So we use spinach to make the consomme.
It's a bit
school.
slimy.
So it's like consomme juice.
juice. For you, I
For
can
you,
relate.
I haven't had that experience.
Serious.
So you blend the spinach.
Yes. With some lettuce, cucumber, an apple, ginger if you want, mint if you want, and some pineapple.
But the vegetable has to be more than the fruits.
Yes. So the fruit is mostly to sweeten it.
Okay. So
Yeah.
that means that then pure fruit juice, especially the processed ones, so ones in the boxes and stuff, are not great.
No, those ones have preservatives which are not good for the body. It's good to have them fresh.
So vegetables 80%, and then fruits 20%. So cucumber, consomme, kale also just came on the market a few years ago, and it said it's what, like people talk about it. It sounds very fancy. What is it?
The local name for kale, I have
don't
no
know,
idea.
But it's like consomme as well, right?
Smaller than consomme and then flatter.
So it's also a green leaf.
It's a green leaf.
Okay, so and then beetroot.
Yeah. So one good combination I usually do is watermelon with beetroot.
Okay, we're told watermelon has no calories,
No, it does have calories,
but very low.
moderately low.
Oh.
So in as much as no, it's not even that low, because a serving of watermelon, before they started it's been a long time I bought some out, but they used to chop this 2 CD slices. That's about a serving. So
Okay.
it's not low. It's not that low because you can eat 2 or 3 of that in the twinkle of an eye.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Because it's so watery
more water.
and
Yes. So
yeah.
compared to other fruits, it won't have so much calories. But they're looking at how much of it we actually consume. So that's another thing. When you Google will tell you this is better than that. But how much of this do we consume?
Okay.
Of yes.
So that makes a lot of difference.
Yeah.
So, for example, Winifred, when mangoes come out, the local mangoes, you can finish eating, you wash like 7, you sit down, you take your time, you really eat it, chew the seed and all of that. And you feel like, oh, I'm eating healthy because I'm eating fruits.
But that's too much sugar.
Okay.
Yeah, that's too much sugar. It has you have to have a portion size of it. Are you taking it as a whole meal as a snack? You should
It's
consider that as
dessert.
well.
That is a meal, isn't it?
Nature given. I mean, you have the mangoes under your tree, you collect it.
I think the point that I'm trying to make is that there's nothing that is so good that you can just eat as much of as you like.
Too much of everything is bad, I would say. Even water, even exercise, even sleep. Yeah. So everything has to be, like you said, moderation. Is key.
But I get where she's coming from. So let's say someone who is used to large portions is trying to go on a diet and then wants something that I can eat without having to be so concerned about it. I'll say go for veggies. Because veggies are very low on carbs, very low on fats, very low on protein. So if you have a big bowl of salad and then when you want to, fill yourself up, that is going to put you in a safer space.
So things like salad, you don't mean the salad that you've added macaroni,
No.
potatoes, and sweet
Wow.
corn.
Not the
With
forest
the
salad.
The ketchup and the mayonnaise.
So you see vegetable salad, not Ghana salad. There's a difference between Ghana salad and vegetable
Okay,
salad.
so a healthy salad would not include potatoes.
You can have, so you see portioning comes
I'm
in
talking about the one that you can do a very big bowl and
with
chew.
a lot of potatoes.
Potatoes, pasta.
So are you having it as a meal?
I mean, obviously you won't be full, so it's like a starter.
Okay, then no.
Let's say it's a meal.
Great, then you can have all that.
You can
there.
have potatoes, you
Yes,
can have
your
pasta, you can have eggs, you
Yes.
can have sweet corn.
Yes.
Some chicken breast in there.
And still, even with that, you have to look at the portion size.
So let's say you are going to eat 4 bulbs of sweet potato or Irish potato. That's
Like
maybe
four
four
of them.
small bulbs of it as your meal, and you decide to go for a salad. You can chop up all that 4 into your salad,
Okay.
and then it serves as your carb.
Okay.
Maybe you're going to eat 2 eggs. You can boil your egg and then chop it into the salad. So it's just the same thing you would have eaten in a different form.
Okay.
Yes. So if you're looking at it from that angle, yes, you can eat that.
Because I think I read somewhere that somebody was eating salads every afternoon for lunch, and then they went to see a nutritionist dietitian and found out that the salad that they were eating was equivalent to 2 kinkis.
Great. So what goes into your salad? Because someone is having like a tin of corned beef, 1 sardine, 2 eggs. So at the end of the day, the things that are actually contributing energy is a lot in your salad.
So then it's not really a healthy
Great.
salad anymore.
So that's why I always say don't look at the name of the thing or the weight of the thing. Look at what goes into the thing.
What about dressing?
So what kind of dressing? There are low fat dressings. There's vinaigrettes. You can do a drizzle of
You know,
olive.
we Ghana, we mix the salad cream
With the
mayonnaise
mayo
and ketchup,
ketchup.
and add small sugar.
So mayo. What goes into mayo? Eggs. And eggs give calories. So if you are doing like a whole half tin of mayonnaise, then you are going overboard. But like a teaspoon or 2 to dress a salad, it's not a sin.
Salad cream is fine.
You can do salad cream.
Those who eat it with ketchup, I don't know what planet they come from, but ketchup.
It's lovely. It's just tomato sauce. But you know, if you're doing that also, you should know that sometimes when you have a lot of that, you end up eating more. So maybe you have
This is really nice.
you have a very healthy spaghetti macaroni salad that you could do a serving or 2. But now because you've added loads and loads of things to sweeten it, you end up going on and on. And because it's in your mind, the salad guilt free.
Exactly.
That's true.
Should we add bread to salad?
Yes, you can eat your salad with bread.
Like half a loaf of sugar bread.
How is your loaf like?
Like a normal loaf.
It's
of
even
sugar
the way
bread.
she rolled her eyes tells you that. So if
I'm
imagine
just imagining, because I've seen
It's
people who
actually
say they're eating
nice.
salad with like half a
Bread,
loaf of sugar bread. And at that point, I'm like, look, you might as well just eat
it's
full,
great.
because
So instead of looking at the name, for instance, someone is saying, "Oh, I just had bread," but you did like a whole half loaf of bread, which may be equivalent to 2 or 3 ladles of rice. Why don't you rather eat rice? And our psychology is such that some things are not food.
Yeah.
So if I even give you a slice of pizza now and you go home, you want to eat again because the pizza is not food.
At all.
So when you are losing weight, you have to as dietitians, we consider all those things: your cultural background, your beliefs, your makeup. So I'm not going to put you on bread and salad when I know you don't classify bread and salad as food. But somebody else can do bread and salad and it's a whole meal.
so if I consider ice cream as food, then you put it on the diet as like a meal.
So so when you're on a diet, doesn't mean you can never have ice cream or those things, but then we plan aside that you have them once in a while. And it's actually even good to have these things thrown about in your diet, because then you know I can have it when I want to. The moment you feel like I can't have it
can't have
again,
something.
there's that spirit of rebellion that enters you,
That's true.
and then you want to do it. So on a healthy diet, those things are thrown sparsely.
Okay.
They are occasional things. They are treats.
Okay.
It's not like every day in your
Every
meal
day.
pattern.
Then I wanted to ask you as well. I've been reading about the fact that there are some foods which make you crave more foods.
Okay.
Like I hear sugar begets sugar. Like the more you eat sugar, the more you
More
want sugar.
crave sugar.
And then there are some foods that help with
Yes.
the cravings. Do you want to just
Cravings.
talk to us about
Okay.
that?
So like the sugar begets sugar. There's a theory of sugar addiction, but that is not what that is. For instance, if you do a cup of any soda, and within a short while you feel like you've eaten, the hunger pangs vanished because all that sugar has entered your bloodstream. So you feel like you have energy. So let's say the sugar in that soda is like 4 cubes. You have all the 4 cubes in your blood, you use it up and you go back to 0. So you need something quickly again to give you energy. So it's like energy dips. You get energy, you go hyper. I don't know if you experience that thing when you take a soda instead of a meal, and in the afternoon it's like you're dying.
Yeah.
You're going hypo. But when you eat a meal that's has a better we call it the glycemic index. It releases the sugar into the blood
Slowly.
in bits.
Okay.
So like when you eat gobe in the morning, you can go for a long time and you don't feel so. I like the upper hand there, gobe for life. You don't feel hungry for a very long time because
Okay.
the release is gradual. So you have like the sugar entering your blood in bits.
So there are good foods to eat at certain times of the day.
Based on what you're trying to achieve. So let's say you want to do weight loss, then things that give you satiety and then have a slower release of energy is better, because you eat it and it can take you for maybe the next 4 or 5 hours. Unlike something that gives you energy in the next 30 minutes, 1 hour, you need.
So give us an example of a bad breakfast.
Okay, so let's say for breakfast you're doing a soda and then white bread.
So malt.
Okay, no brands, but let's say malt beverages.
No, malt is malt beverage is not. Yeah, I mean, so like, you've made me feel bad.
Oh, sorry.
A malt beverage, with tea bread and chocolate spread, and then biscuits.
It's very nice though.
It's right, or tea bread and granola paste.
So if you're trying to, let's say you're not doing a weight loss, you want to have something like that for breakfast.
No, this is a weight loss
person,
show,
then
so
I would say it's not really advisable.
Okay.
Because you're going to have all the sugars released at once.
Okay.
Or in a very short space. Your body is going to use it up as what? Use a little for your very low activity and the rest is fat. But if you eat something that is having a good...
So something like that is bad. Soda
bad
in
for
the
weight
morning is
loss.
bad.
So let me come in again. It's bad for weight loss. But somebody can do it in a very small portion that...
I bet who can do it in the morning, he'll be fine.
Yes.
So obviously it's the weight loss squad.
We have to work on that. So we are looking at something that is going to give you bulk and then keep you full for a longer time.
Okay.
At the same time, give you smaller calories. So imagine you do something like oatmeal. Oats, like whole oats there.
I don't know, every time you're trying to lose weight, people are talking about oats in the
You can do the
morning.
wheat, the wheat that we prepare like rice water, or the mori cocoa.
How about granola?
You can do granola,
Okay,
but
good.
granola, I have my own reservations because some of the granola has a lot of sugar and honey. So whatever you're going for should be low in sugar and low in honey.
So you could do like a granola and unsweetened yogurt
Great.
for breakfast.
Great. Which is nice.
With no tea bread and chocolate spread.
At all.
So again, if tea bread can fit in and meet your calories for the morning, there's a way to fix it in. So weight loss diets is not like so restrictive, but then let's look at all the things we can have and choose wisely. Because for instance, if you do this your tea bread, within a short period you're hungry.
You'll be hungry.
But you can do the tea bread, add veggies to the tea bread, and then it takes you for a longer time. You avoid the plenty snacking until your next meal time, until your next snack time, where she's helping us with the nice juices.
Yeah,
to
the
fit
vegetables,
in.
consomme juice and things.
You know, so many of them. So it all has to do with you as a person. We always take your history. So what do you eat? Because if you just jump on, okay, there's a fruit diet and you start eating fruits, you can't eat fruits. Let's say you are 30 years, you can't eat fruits till you are 70.
No, you can't.
Yes. So we start with your regular intake.
Does the ability, two things I want to talk about, age and sleep.
Okay.
So in case I forget. So let's start with age. Does it become more difficult to lose weight as you get older?
Yes, please, it does.
Okay, why?
Because as you get older, your metabolic rate drops.
Can exercise fix that?
Yes, it can help.
Okay. So is that your full explanation?
So yes, exercise can help in a way. And aside the metabolic rates going down, your strength actually also comes down, which you can attest to. Some people lose a lot of muscle as you grow older. Risk of breaking bones, like when you cross 50, there's a risk that you can easily have a fracture and all those things. So when you get to those ages, losing weight can be a bit difficult. But again, around those ages, weight like losing 20 kg and all, that's not the goal. Because aging alone, you will lose weight. So sometimes we have to prioritize what is very important for the client.
Okay, so how do we use exercise then to boost metabolism? Because I think the metabolism key is the main factor in losing weight. If that's up and running, then that's fine. So how do we use exercise? And then are there specific types of exercise that are targeted at boosting your metabolism?
Okay, so frequent exercising helps increase your metabolism, and most especially weight exercises, because they help build the muscles, increase the muscle mass that contributes to the basal metabolism going up.
Okay.
Yeah, like she mentioned last week, the basal metabolism is the calories that you burn when you're resting, when you're sleeping, when you're just sitting in the sofa watching TV. So having your muscle mass increase as you do the weight exercises helps increase your metabolism.
Okay. So the weight exercises are the lifting of weights and the...
Yes, so lifting of weights, but then you can start slow. So for someone that doesn't have any experience at all, can start with just body weights. Push-ups, sit-ups, just
planks.
Yes, all of that. Using just the body
Your
weight.
own weights
yeah,
too. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And then you start small, light dumbbells or maybe household materials you can use to build the muscle. Yeah.
We used to use sea sand in a bottle.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, that's perfect for a start.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as time goes on, you increase the weight and then the intensity and all of that.
Okay, sounds good. I have a few questions from some of our listeners, but I just want to talk to you quickly about sleep and weight loss.
Okay.
I was watching a TikTok video a couple of days ago, and the lady was talking about why you shouldn't eat late.
Okay.
And her explanation was that your body is producing melatonin when you're going to sleep, and then you eat, and then your body has to produce the hormones to process the food, but the melatonin has told your body it's time to go to bed. So then your body starts to shut down, and then the food just goes into storage as fat.
Okay.
It's the first time I've actually heard
That's
why you shouldn't eat late theory that made sense.
Okay. Which other theories did you used to hear?
I don't know. People just have all sorts of you shouldn't eat late. It's not good. The food will sit in your chest, or you grow fat. But it was never really able to say why
exactly
eating late. Because if you haven't eaten the whole day, for example, and you eat at night and you don't reach your calorie whatever, then why is it that eating late would make
Be
you
a
put? Do you get what I
get
mean?
you. I get you.
Is there a question in there? Do you feel like there's
Yes,
something
I feel
you can
there's a
answer?
question.
Okay, go ahead.
So when it comes to eating late, what are you eating? Like you said, some people run night shifts. Your stomach empties in about 5 hours, 4 to 5 hours. So let's say you eat rice at 8 a.m. That means going towards 12, gastric emptying has gone on. Then you start to feel hungry.
So the food
Gastric,
went away.
it goes into your intestines. So you know there's the esophagus, then there's the stomach sac,
Okay, so
then
it
there's
has moved from your
the stomach. So now the stomach is empty. So
And
the
that's when you
stomach
kind of
needs.
feel like pooping.
Oh no, it's now going to travel all the way to
And
your
go
stomach.
through processes and okay, all right.
But then once the stomach sac is empty, then there's that feeling that I need food. Okay. So like you said, you've gone to work, you've not eaten, and you come home late. You can still eat. But then you don't eat things that have too many or too much calories. So coming from her melatonin school of thought, I haven't really read much about that. So I don't know if it's evidence based or not. But I'll pick it from metabolism. So she's saying the melatonin is going to slow down how your body uses energy. So let's say you're eating something that has so much energy, you go to bed.
Like fufu.
Great. So all the energy
Around
from
10:30.
awesome. All the energy from all that fufu and the meat, you are not using, you are not working, you are not thinking, you are not blinking. Your body is just like in a state of rest.
Shut down, yeah.
So your body is going to store and use it later. But then you wake up the next morning, the body doesn't even have time to use what you stored to use later because your stomach is telling you you're hungry and then you have to eat again. So why don't we rather eat in a way that we are eating what we need and then there's not excess to store? Great. So you come home late from work, you have some soup, maybe light soup with some fish. You've chopped garden eggs and okra in there. You have maybe a slice of bread. You've eaten. Your stomach is not going to rumble, but then there's not so much that is going to make you gain a lot of weight.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
So the question, what I was talking about, sleep. How important is sleep?
Okay, so
when you're trying to
I
eat?
recently saw a video on TikTok that was very interesting. She says when you brush your teeth and you sleep, no one eats while sleeping, right? So for her, she thinks once you're asleep, it's going to avoid that whole craving thing. Maybe you bought a box of something and you're eating. Until it's done, you are not at peace. The thing is in the fridge and you keep going back. If you're asleep, you're not going to eat, right? Okay, so that's one thing. And then aside that, when you sleep, you give your body time. There's a hormone theory that when you don't sleep and you're under stress, you eat more.
Okay. Yeah.
Because the hormones that make you feel hungry, because there's hormonal imbalance, they can be all over the place. So even to feel hungry, there's a hormone that tells your body that you have to eat. There's ghrelin and leptin. One suppresses hunger, one tells you you're hungry. So when you're not sleeping, you're in a state of stress, hormones are all over. Everything turns upside down. So you need your good amount of sleep.
How many hours?
So from studies, they will say 9 hours, 8
8
hours, but I think just sleep enough to feel rested.
So that you're not tired. I feel like also when you're tired, when you wake up tired in the morning, then you kind of just want to eat.
Yes, so then there's stress eating. So when you're very tired, when you're not well rested, you crave food. It's called comfort eating or stress eating. So that's also another thing. So you realize maybe at the office, you know that maybe in June, there are lots of presentations. You're going to be busy. You have to start planning. How am I going to eat in this month? Else, stress eating sets in. And with stress eating, you crave sugary things. The body wants fast energy. So you crave things that have a lot of sugar, a lot of fat. Because the body thinks, see, we have a lot of stress coming in, so let's eat more.
Is that also why we're not able to make good food choices when we're tired?
Yes, because at that point, is your body talking. Get it. So you can be craving something that is not within your reach, and then you have to get it at all costs because the body thinks we need all this energy
To make us feel better.
Yes. So during those periods, you have to eat nutritious things, nutrients dense things. So you're looking at, if you know you're having a stress period, you wake up in the morning, you can start with a fruit. You eat your whole cereal porridges, so the oatmeal you don't want to hear, the wheat porridges, those ones are failing.
I don't hear you talking about frosties and stuff.
You see, so then by the time of the day when you have the cravings, a little bit and you're okay. So it's not like you're eating a bucket of ice cream as a meal.
Okay, I see what you mean. Just because you're talking about cereals, processed cereals, the ones in the boxes, good or bad?
I'll say they are good.
They are not the ones with sugar.
So then again, not the ones with too much sugar, and then not the ones that are too polished. Right now, they have some that is whole bran cereal. They have some that is like in boxes of, I don't mention the brand, but everything is packed in there. It's good because it's better to eat something than to avoid everything in the name of avoiding some things. So let's say on days when you are busy, you have a quick fix. Then on days when you have time, you make
You can
something.
wake up and make your eggs and avocados and all those things.
Things that you want to eat.
Okay, let's go through some of the messages. Papa Ansa, hi Papa Ansa, good evening, how are you? Papa Ansa says, I eat banku and fried fried tilapia with sliced tomatoes, onions, cucumber with sweet red wine. I think the question in there is what are your thoughts on that?
On that, Papa Ansa, please, how often do you eat your...
Every evening.
Then I think we can even okay, so let's start. For instance, I don't know how big Papa Ansa's banku is or how big his fried tilapia is. You see, so all those things go into it. But if you're eating this all the time with your sweet red wine and it's late in the night, that means over the time we are accumulating things. If you are buying,
He eats it around 7:30.
and if you are buying your tilapia from outside, you know that oil that never goes bad. We use it to fry when it's black. We use it for shito. You're consuming a lot of trans fats, which may not be good for your health.
Okay.
So instead of the fried tilapia, he could do grilled tilapia if it's a meal that is very regular. I love the fact that he has tomatoes and onions and cucumber in there. For the sweet red wine, I don't know if it's for the regular appetite that we do, but I don't think it's advisable to be taking wine all the time because of the alcohol in the wine. Grace, does the sweet red wine have alcohol?
I'm sure. I don't think he means
It does.
non-alcoholic. Otherwise, he would just have said.
Because I've never had sweet red wine. So
No,
I think
mean,
it's something I don't know
there's
about.
sweet red, and then there's
Okay.
red wine that's not sweet.
Oh, okay.
So
it's a
I mean,
first.
there's sweet, and then there's the ones that are not at all.
Okay.
So again, Papa and Sai, it depends on the time, the portions, how much you've eaten in the day,
and the frequency. How often are you doing this?
and then whether you're going to sleep. Like when you finish eating, no, you fall asleep on the couch without washing your hands.
And it's Papa and an ectomorph or an endomorph or a mesomorph.
And is he active? Does he exercise in the morning?
Papa, if you're by your phone, you call. Why? Because I can't be answering these questions for you. I think it's better if you do 0302216541, 0302216541. The ability to gain or lose weight is tied to your hormones. If you abeku, this one is for you. If you can't gain weight, check your thyroid, pituitary glands. That's Abnan Kanta, who is an NLS practitioner. So hormones are a big thing as well.
Yes. So hormones regulate everything in our body. Okay. But just a disclaimer, don't just panic that because you're not losing weight, you have a problem with your hormones. Maybe you're just not even eating right.
No, you know what I enjoyed last week? When you described for us how like you are cooking, during the cooking you've eaten and eaten and eaten. By the time you finish cooking, you've eaten a full meal.
Yes.
But you say, you haven't eaten. So then now before you keep
sit
your
down
plate
and eat something.
and then so there are lots of ways that you could be sabotaging your weight loss without it being a hormonal issue or
it's more behavioral. So we have to always assess these things before we jump to the very scary conclusions. Because I'm sure somebody just sees this like, okay, I have a problem with my thyroid, and maybe you don't really have. So let's slow down. It's true though, but let's slow down and then check ourselves well before we do all these other things. Yeah.
Okay, I think that's it for the questions. So our phone lines are open. We really just have about 10 minutes. If you have any questions to ask Winifred or Benedicta. Wow. Some of your messages are very, very interesting. People are really now like sending their foods ankasa that they eat and asking questions about it. This one says, I eat fufu 4 times a week, but it's in the morning around 11. And then I have a salad in the evening or just soup or toasted bread and tea. So how's that for calories?
So fufu is not bad again. Fufu is what? Your plantain and your cassava. So how much of the fufu are you eating is the problem. So please, let's fufu banku kenke kokote breathe. They are
I know,
innocent,
right?
yes. So they are all carbs, but then the main thing is portioning. How much of it are you having? So you don't say because it's 4 times in a week, then you are eating like 20 CD worth of fufu at a go. Then we have something
Then we have.
that's
Okay,
concerning.
Kwame is joining us on the line. Hello, Kwame.
Yeah, good evening. Please, I want more clarification on this late night eating. I've been doing that for about 30 years. I don't grow fat, so what really is the problem?
So, Mr. Kwame, please, what exactly are you eating in the night?
Oh, the only thing that I don't eat fufu, but rice, maybe yam, and sometimes just a beverage and bread.
Okay, thank you for your question, Mr. Kwame. So then again, activity comes in. Some people have high metabolic rates, so when they eat these things, they don't end up storing so much as fats, and then also quantity. Someone is eating rice late in the night, but it's just a ladle or two. Unlike someone too who eats like a whole cup of rice. So these things you may need a professional to help you craft a regimen that will help work for you as a person. Okay. So Mr. Kwame, I think you should see a dietitian so that they go through your regular eating pattern and then craft something for you.
You do everything. We should see a dietitian now. I mean, obviously, we go to the professionals because as much as it sounds like it's something that's very simple, it's actually quite complicated.
Yes, because there's a psychological bit of it. Then there's the actual planning. Like she said, we do calculations, and then also we look at your daily activities and fix it. So maybe someone is a mason, and then does a lot of hard work and gets home late. You can't tell that person not to eat in the evening because the person is going to end up losing a lot of muscle and all
Yeah.
that. So it's different regimen for different
And then
people.
obviously, of course, depending on the season of life that you're in. So if you're breastfeeding or if you're pregnant or if you're doing all of that,
all of
then
that. Even when you're suffering a heartbreak, the diet is different.
wow, I see. Late night eating stresses your pancreas, liver, and kidneys. That's Abna in cancer as well. Cholesterol, diabetes. Of course, all these diseases sort of come from our eating habit. I think a lot
Habits.
of our diseases come
The
from
non-communicable
Yeah.
ones, the diabetes, hypertension, stroke, all those things.
They come from the foods that we eat.
Lifestyle,
Lifestyle.
not just the
not just
food.
food, but lifestyle.
Alcohol consumption, inactivity. Yes.
I see. Very interesting, very enlightening. I'm going to let you guys have your final words and how people can get in touch with you. Somebody says it's eating groundnuts, too much of groundnuts. Kwesi, you like groundnuts? Kwesi likes groundnuts.
So he said that groundnuts give cholesterol. I'm sure he's heard it from somewhere. So yes, groundnuts and nuts, they have fats. And then anything that is producing fats, the fats are in ratios. So groundnuts has good fats and still has bad fats. So if you are eating too much, like a whole bottle of groundnuts, then you check your cholesterol and it goes up. You have to start working on your portions.
Okay.
Great.
Okay, so is this Abna? Yeah, this is Abna again. Abna says
I think she meant
something about
aflatoxins. Oh, but not well. If the nut is not properly processed, so aflatoxins are like mold that are in the nut. Sometimes you are chewing the groundnut and you bite into that bitter thing. You have to spit it out because
Okay,
it means
okay.
that there is a mold, and the mold secretes some toxins that
are
give
not good
that,
for you.
and then they are.
Okay, she says you can soak it
carcinogens.
in lime or boil. Abna, I think next time you should just join us in the studio. So Mirabel will take your number so that we can have you in as well. But thank you so much, Abna, for joining in, and we value your contributions as well. All right, so final words, and then you tell people how they can reach you.
Reach me. Okay, so final words. If you're trying to lose weight, you can do it. Don't give up, you can do it. And then try and work with all the things that we've shared here. You can reach me on Instagram at mami_kesewa or Diet Right Ghana. Or you can reach my business number on 0548984996. Thank you.
So say the number again.
0548984996.
All right, okay. And Winifred.
Yes. So I would also say that weight loss is highly possible. Just get the right person to coach you through, because at a point we are going to lose the self-motivation, the fire is going to go down. We need someone to push us to get
To
to
vim you, revim
Exactly.
you.
Exactly. So yeah, don't give up. It's possible. Just get the right people around you to help you through it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And well, thank you so much for that. How do people get in touch with you?
Okay, so you can call me on 05730111186.
Okay,
Thank you.
Instagram.
Instagram, it's Fit with Winnie.
Okay, Facebook. Everywhere is Fits with Winnie.
Winifred Mensah on Facebook, Fit with Winnie on Instagram. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, get in touch. I mean, sometimes you can't do it on your own. And of course, if you have people who have the technical know-how, then it makes it much more easy. I hope you enjoyed our conversation tonight, and that we've helped you if you're on a weight loss journey. I'd love to hear from you if you are, and also how it's going. A very big thank you to the team, Mirabelle, Abakes, and everyone who helps out. Really appreciate you guys. My name is Animwaa Anim-Addo. A big thank you to Winifred and Benedicta for joining us. Next week we'll be back with another exciting conversation. Stay tuned in. I think Maxwell Adada will be bringing us the news at 8.